Could Sharon Carter be the power broker? In this video, I will tell you why. Hey guys, if you're new to this channel, my name is Marike and welcome to our channel Touch of Magic. In this video, I will review the 5th episode already of the series Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you haven't checked out the review of the previous episode yet, go to this link and check them out. And if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. That would mean a lot to us. But for now, let's start with the review. The episode starts with John running away from the fight that he had in the last episode with killing Nico. And Bucky and Sam are running after him. And they end up in a fight over the Captain America shield. And I think it's because Sam and Bucky cannot just accept that Captain America, legacy of Steve Rogers, would kill someone in that way. So they want the shield back and they get the shield back. It's not the only consequence that John Walker is experiencing. He is taken to court for his actions. He has been suspended in his role as Captain America and is suspended from the army, which is a huge consequence. And he actually meets up with a mysterious woman with a bit of a mysterious offer. In the meantime, Bucky is looking for Zemo and he finds him. They have a little bit of a talk where Zemo says that Carly is a little bit radicalized and that Bucky needs to kill her in order to stop her. The Dora Milaje are arresting him and taking him to Wakanda to spend the rest of his day there. While Bucky was with Zemo, Sam goes to see Isaiah Bradley. Do we remember him? He was the black super soldier we saw a couple of episodes ago. And I think Sam went to Isaiah is because Sam feels that he needs to be the next Captain America. But there are some issues and he has doubts. So I think that he went to Isaiah to talk about that. After the conversation, Sam goes back home to Sarah and they actually go fix the boat. And Bucky comes along and he brings some mysterious suitcase from Wakanda and he stays to help to fix the boat. And he came in really handy. He was really useful because of his super strength. So he could do all the heavy lifting. And we see John Walker. It's actually his last scene in the actual episode. He visits the parents of Hoskins and you can feel there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of resentment, and I feel that John Walker at this point is getting a little bit unpredictable. We also see a little bit of Sharon Carter. She is calling on the phone with some French dude and he is yelling at her and she's just like, yeah, I'll do double. And that's the only thing we see of Sharon Carter in this episode. Next we see Sam and Bucky are training for Sam to become the next Captain America. They actually have a really good conversation. Bucky leaves and Sam is training alone. And you can really see the transitioning from him being the Falcon to Captain America. Next we are in New York with the Flag Smashers. And Carly is meeting up with some random French dude. Do you know where I'm going with maybe that Sharon Carter could be the power broker? I will talk a little bit more about that in what will come section, so hang in there. And the random French dude is handing over some weaponry. They're actually planning to do an attack on the GRC voting. And we actually see them doing that. Sam sees that on television and he is preparing to fight, in which he opens the secret mysterious suitcase that he got from the Wakandians and Bucky. And that's actually the end of the episode. And we have finally Marvel-like a post scene with John Walker making his own shield. What could that mean? Now it's time for the review. What I really liked about this episode, that I felt that the scenes were a little bit less hurried compared to episodes 1 to 4. It was more storytelling and there was more background story, just a little bit slowed down, which I really liked. What I also really liked was that people from the first episode were reappearing We were longing for that. Finally see Taurus and Sarah again in a significant role, which they didn't had in episodes 2 to 4. And I also really like the construction of this episode. It started out with a banger with some really heavy fighting, which was really excited. And then they slowed down. And then they peaked again with a really high tension end with cliffhanger. I'm really excited to watch the final episode of the series next week. And what I also really like was that I felt really empowered by Sam's training. I feel that he is the right person to be the next Captain America, and I think Steve Rogers would be proud. And there was finally a post scene. I have been waiting for that. Every time when an episode ended, I would watch through the whole thing to only find out that they didn't have a post scene. And I love these post scenes so much. So thank you, Marvel, for doing that. What I didn't like as good in this episode was that I felt that Carly was not being portrayed or evolving as a strong villain this episode. Where she was such a strong villain in the previous episode, she wasn't a lot in the screen, so I think that could explain. What I also really didn't like was the inconsistent use of the shield. Did you notice that? I mean, when Bucky and Sam were training, he could just catch the shield, and then when he was training alone, he had trouble wandering. Did you notice that? Let's talk about what is coming next. Obviously, we're gonna see the attack on the GRC and how Carly Flag Smashers planned the whole thing. And what about John Walker's shield? Is he so obsessed that he wants to be Cap, or will he avenge his friend Hoskins? Will he go against the government? Will he go against Sam and Bucky? He seems really unpredictable. So let's see. Can I say, I need to say this in one sentence. But Bucky and Sarah, is there a romance? Remember when I predicted in the first episode that there could be a romance for Bucky? Could this be it? Could it be with Sam's sister? Now let's talk about the theory. Could the power broker be Sharon Carter? She is totally the type for it. We don't know when the power broker was founded. And she is so badass. She totally could be it. But I think that a really strong suggestion is that she was talking on the phone with this French dude. And she was like, yeah, I pay you double. And then some French dude showed up in the park in New York City. How? Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Could she be the power broker? Could she want to get rid of Sam? I actually hoped in episode 3 that they could be a couple, but maybe she wants to kill him off at this point. What do you think about this theory? Let me know down in the comments. And if you have seen more hints throughout the episode, let me know. And what's the final thing? What is coming, what's in that suitcase? So I've been watching it with Mark, which you probably could know from other videos that we made. And we were discussing a little bit what could be in that suitcase. And our best answers are maybe a suit, a Captain America suit specially made for Sam. Maybe his wings because they broke. Or maybe some kind of serum that makes him a super soldier, or the heart-shaped herb. Remember from the Black Panther movies? That's where T'Challa gained his strength. So maybe they brought him dead so he can actually be the super soldier, and I think that he deserves it. It's time for the verdict. So I have been pretty generous with giving out stars. I gave 10 stars to the last episode. I really love the action in the previous episode, so I think that's why I gave 10 stars, but I definitely think that this episode deserves 9 stars. It was a really good episode. It was really well put together. The only thing that has cost the star is a little bit of the inconsistency with how Sam was training with the shield, and that Carly wasn't really developed as a villain like she was in the previous episode. So, what did you think of this episode? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate that. And give this video a thumbs up. If you want to connect with us, go to our Instagram at Touch of Magic. And for now, I want to say thank you so much for watching. And we see you in another video next week for the final of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Bye! See you next week.